This man put on a diaper and hid under the bed of the goddess. The bed is shaking violently, and he's under the bed quietly enjoying it all. The man's name is David. He grew up as a non-existent person, whether it was his family or his classmates. He was ignored by his family and classmates, until this day when he was answering a question in class. Lily behind him handed him notes to help him to solve the problem. It was such a gesture, made him feel happier than ever. And then the scene changed. 10 years have passed, but David's memory is still full of Lily's smile. He couldn't get her out of his mind. He kept asking for news of Lily. One day he finally found Lily as he wished, but in front of him, she was tired. She was in a dull state the moment he passed her by. David was heartbroken. He wanted to know why the woman had suddenly become like this. He quit his job. He rented a store across the street from Lily's house. The first floor is an aquarium. The second floor is where he spies on Lily. He took out his graduation photo. He enlarged a picture of Lily and put it on the wall. He used a plastic mannequin to dress up in Lily's favorite dress, sprayed on the familiar perfume. He pretended that the goddess was right next to him. Then he took out his binoculars and peeked into Lily's life. That day he saw a scene that broke his heart. At dinner, Lily's husband threw a glass of water in Lily's face. Then he punched and kicked Lily. The husband then pulled down the curtains. The next day David came secretly to the goddess house. He saw Lily's eyes were bruised. He was heartbroken. The man put on a diaper and hid under the bed, feeling the passion of his goddess with another man. The next moment, he sees the goddess being kicked out of bed by a man after punching and kicking. That day Lily came to the aquarium to buy peacock fish. He took the opportunity to help Lily take the fish back to her home. He took the key of Lily's house by hand. He made a copy of the key. In the days to come, he would come to Lily's house every day to help her clean the sink, feeding the peacock fish. Then he installed a bug in her house. He would lie on the spot where Lily slept and feel the body heat of the goddess. Every week, he would send Lily a bouquet of flowers with a card. Lily was worried that her husband would find out. She had to throw the flowers away. Gradually, he was no longer satisfied with this. He hid directly under the bed of the goddess, enjoying the distance of a bed, peeking into his private life. One day the husband picked up a card. It was David's to Lily. The result, he watched as his goddess was punched and kicked by men, pushed into the water. He was heartbroken but could not do anything about it. In the middle of the night, while the man was asleep, he wrapped Lily, who was soaked to the skin, in a blanket. Lily woke up to a warmth she had never felt before. The flowers she receives every month. The fish tank that was cleaned. She is convinced that someone else is in the house. She returns to her bedside. She said to the air, "I hope you can help me." Through the wire, David heard a cry for help. He decided to save the goddess. At dinner Lily said she wanted to go home to visit her critically ill father, but her husband refused. Lily was so angry that she slapped her husband directly. The man raised his fork, stabbed into the woman's hand. Then another beating. David behind, but hesitated to do so. The man hid behind the curtain, watching the goddess being abused by her husband, but he was too cowardly to come out. He also hated himself for his weakness. The next day he was determined to save Lily, but then he saw Lily driving to escape. Instead, she was caught by her husband. When he got home, he beat her again. She was so desperate that she raised a knife with her hand, but unexpectedly her husband pushed her to the ground. He picked up the knife and walked towards Lily. This woman is being domestic violence. She cried out for help. In the nick of time, David appeared with an electric baton, stunned the man. At this point Lily tried to finish the man herself, but David pushes her away. He decided he would take the blame. Then David came to the police station and turned himself in. Looking back on a life that had been so uneventful, he felt his existence was like a little worm under a rock. How to be born, how to die, no one knows. The goddess came to David's place. The moment she saw the photo, she remembered David's name and the events of that year. She rushed to the police station and shouted David's name. David also showed a long-lost smile. Maybe all these years he found the goddess, only to hear her call his name again. Although David lived like an invisible man, but he is willing to give everything he has for love. Do you think if for love, such voyeurism can be forgiven?